scholars are increasingly re-evaluating the historical significance of Mecca in Islam's origins, with emerging evidence suggesting northern Arabia might hold greater importance. This shift in perspective could profoundly alter the established narrative surrounding the inception of Islam. Research reveals that Mecca lacked archaeological evidence prior to 800 AD, casting doubt on its reputation as a vibrant trade hub during Muhammad's era. These findings imply that Mecca may not have even been a part of the crucial trade routes of that time. The context of Muhammad's life illustrates his upbringing in a trading family, coinciding with a transformative epoch in Arabia. Recognizing this backdrop is essential for a thorough reassessment of Islamic history. Muhammad's migration to Medina represents a pivotal turning point for Islam, fostering its growth and military presence throughout Arabia, which ultimately catalyzed its expansion. This significant movement also marks the commencement of the Muslim calendar. Archaeological insights from Mecca challenge the notion of a prosperous city, suggesting it was not the thriving merchant center depicted in Islamic texts. The absence of ancient maps or records undermines its prominence before the advent of Islam. Historians propose that inconsistencies in early Islamic documents may refer to an alternative location, raising the possibility that the narrative concerning Muhammad and his birthplace fundamentally misrepresents history. The ancient Arabs exhibited respect for local deities encountered during their travels, distinctly opposing anthropomorphic representations. They favored geometric symbols to represent their gods, reflecting a pronounced emphasis on regional divinity. In pre-Islamic times, Arabian tribes venerated an array of gods, often clashing over tribal conflicts. Despite these divisions, a shared pilgrimage to sacred sites emerged as a significant unifying practice. Mecca was historically acknowledged as a sanctuary where violence was forbidden, cultivating a sense of safety and communal gathering. This tradition persisted and evolved following the rise of Islam. The 1987 reconstruction of a mosque unveiled an ancient foundation with a Qibla wall oriented northward, suggesting the initial direction of prayer was towards Jerusalem. This discovery provides valuable context regarding the evolution of Islamic prayer directions. Analyses of the Qibla direction in early mosques across various regions reveal a pattern of misalignment with Mecca. This observation implies a gradual shift in the understanding of prayer direction over time. Findings propose that Petra could have served as a significant religious center for early Muslims, possibly even the birthplace of Islam. This hypothesis stimulates a dialogue regarding the historical importance of Petra. The transition of prayer direction from Syria to Mecca marks a transformative period in Islamic history. This crucial shift shaped the religious practices of the early Muslim community. The name Becca is examined in connection with its ancient meanings and biblical references, suggesting a profound link to Petra. This connection indicates that Petra may have been historically significant long before the advent of Islam. Petra's geographical attributes and archaeological data confirm it possessed the necessary resources and infrastructure to support a thriving community, starkly contrasting the parched landscape that characterizes Mecca. The varied entrances to Petra, including specific pathways like the Thania, highlight its accessibility and strategic importance in ancient times. These routes further underscore the city's historical relevance. Petra is home to numerous ancient temples, including those honoring deities such as Dushara, showcasing the region's rich religious history predating Islamic traditions. This indicates a continuity of spiritual significance. The presence of boundary stones in Petra may suggest the original location of the forbidden gathering place, challenging the widely held belief that this site is exclusively in Mecca. This finding prompts further inquiry into early Islamic rituals. Abdullah ibn Zubair's claim to the caliphate in the Holy City sparked the Second Islamic Civil War against the Umayyads, who favored Damascus as their capital. This declaration represented a significant challenge to Umayyad authority. The Umayyad response included a military offensive against Ibn Zubair, culminating in the shocking demolition of the Kaaba. This act symbolized the intense struggle for power and legitimacy within the Islamic community. The aftermath of this conflict led to a notable change in mosque construction orientation, reflecting shifts in religious practices and political allegiance. This transition was vital in shaping how the Islamic world viewed its sacred cities. The introduction of the niche in mosques marked a significant architectural evolution, symbolizing the prayer direction towards the Qibla. This development reinforced the Qibla's centrality in Islamic worship. Despite ongoing political strife, the city of Kufa emerged as a crucial theological center, playing an instrumental role in establishing the Abbasid dynasty. Its influence extended to the transcription and dissemination of the Quran. The construction of mosques during the 2nd century illustrated confusion over the Qibla direction, as many were oriented inconsistently. This period underscores the lack of consensus within the Islamic community regarding prayer direction. Initially, the Umayyad rulers demonstrated loyalty to Petra, yet cultural developments in Spain ushered in architectural innovations. This evolution led to the establishment of impressive mosques with distinct orientations. Archaeological discoveries in Petra buttress theories regarding historical occurrences during the early Islamic period. Notable findings include catapult stones, which suggest conflicts that shaped the region's religious landscape. The catastrophic earthquakes impacting Petra significantly contributed to the decline of the city's prominence in Islamic worship. This natural disaster ultimately prompted a historical shift toward Mecca as the primary direction of prayer. The destruction of texts from the Alexandrian library and the library at Ctesiphon exemplifies the catastrophic loss of knowledge amid conflicts. This loss marked a consequential turning point in the preservation of historical texts. The heavy reliance on oral tradition for Quran memorization posed significant challenges regarding accuracy and preservation. The deaths of many who had memorized the Quran in battles threatened the continuity of its teachings. The Abbasid dynasty later recognized the literary void and sought to produce a unified version of Islamic history. However, their motivations were often politically driven, which could have led to distortions in historical narratives. The contributions of early Islamic leaders like Abu Bakr and Uthman in compiling the Quran hold considerable significance. These efforts played a crucial role in the ongoing evolution of Quranic texts. Evidence indicates that earlier Quranic manuscripts did not include references to Mecca or the changing of the Qibla. This discrepancy raises critical questions concerning the integrity of later texts and their historical context. The transition from referring to the Holy City as Becca to Mecca suggests potential scribal alterations. Such modifications carry profound implications for our understanding of the origins of Islamic practices.